Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Welcome to another edition of 15 Minutes with the Captains. Today you got Captain Emmanuel of IUIC Arkansas. And today we're going to discuss the truth about prom. Now listen, prom is something that many of us adults, if we repented in our adulthood, we pretty much all partook in. But guess what? It's of the world, it's of the devil, and it's not for our children to partake in, not at all whatsoever. And we're going to show y'all the origins and just the wickedness in general of this pagan heathen custom. All right, let's start out with history.com. Come on.
The racist history of prom.
All right, scroll down. Read that.
When young people began going to prom in the late 19th century, it wasn't yet a dance for high schoolers. Prom, short for promenade, was originally an event for college students in the Northeast that had its roots in debutante balls, also known as coming out parties.
As what?
As coming out parties.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Ain't that how it go? That's what it was for. Go ahead.
Also known as coming out parties, debutante balls introduce young women to polite society and its eligible men.
In other words, that was the heathen's way or the white man's way of formally introducing their daughters to the world of dating and sex. All right? Now watch this. Go to Leviticus 19:29. I'm going to show you, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. God gave us laws that set us apart from these godless heathens. And we were never supposed to partake in anything that gave our young daughters over to any type of susceptibility of fornication. All right, read what you got.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
Go ahead.
Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
So believe it or not, brothers and sisters, when you purchase that prom dress, when you rent that limo or that fancy car, when you swipe the card for the hotel, you are giving your daughter over to whoredom. Yes, you are. That's exactly what's happening. And we're going to prove that. You understand? But God gave a law for us never to do that. When your daughter is of marital age, which is 20, you marry her off to a man. She doesn't partake in balls where she flaunts herself as a single bachelorette. We don't partake in those type of customs. But go back to the article and jump down to the third paragraph, dealing with the racist history. Come on.
In the 1920s, white high schools began to introduce proms to their teenage students. Like the college proms, these were meant to teach students how to behave as respectable men and women along gender and racial lines, and also excluded black students.
It did what?
Also excluded black students.
So guess what? And this one nothing but 100 years ago, right? It's some people that's 100 years old. So it's still damn near a lifespan worth of time. That's it. Only 100 years ago, it was introduced in high school, and it was not allowed for niggas to be in attendance. It was never meant for you, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
By the time the Great Depression hit in the 1930s, the prom had become a big enough deal that some high school principals canceled their proms so that poor students wouldn't be psychologically wounded.
Watch this. Keep going.
But proms really took off in the 1950s when a post-war boom and new consumer market geared toward teenagers made this.
Jump down to after Brown versus Board.
After Brown versus Board of Education was decided in 1954, white schools in the South actively worked to undermine the Supreme Court's ruling that schools couldn't segregate students by race. In the 1960s and 70s, many white schools that had integrated their classrooms began to hold two proms. One for white students and one for black students.
All right, niggers. We're taking baby steps, all right? And we let you niggers in our classroom, but damn it, we're not going to let you in our prom. You get your own damn prom, nigger. Damn. Go ahead.
In the famous case of Charleston High School in Mississippi, white parents began organizing invite-only proms for white students in 1970, the year black students began attending. In response, black parents organized their own prom for their kids.
So here we go. We want to be like the heathen so bad, we just chasing it. So we started to make our own proms, right? Go ahead.
Charleston High's proms received national attention in 1997 when actor Morgan Freeman promised to pay for the school dance if it agreed to hold one integrated prom. The school refused and continued holding racially segregated proms until 2008.
Wow. That was yesterday. Go ahead.
A saga detailed in the documentary Prom Night in Mississippi.
Watch this.
But Charleston isn't even the most recent school to desegregate its prom. Students at Wilcox County High School in Ableville, Georgia, only held their first integrated prom in 2013.
So we talking about 10 years ago. That's when I was a senior in high school. They just started in Abbeville, Georgia, letting niggas attend prom with the white folks. You understand? It was never meant for us. Brothers and sisters, I want y'all to understand that.
Message.
Give me Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. This is what God commanded us. Watch this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31.
Envy
thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So I know it seems glorious. It's a debutante ball, and the dresses are beautiful, and the tuxedos. To hell with that! God said, do not envy the oppressor. Choose none of their ways. They're fine with prostituting their daughters to cause them to be whores. You understand? But for us, we have a much higher standard when it comes to our daughters, or supposed to. But in this day and age, you got Negroes giving the damn boys that's taking their daughters to prom condoms.
A Negro.
The hell is this? All right, give me 2 Maccabees 4 verse 15 real quick. All right, 2 Maccabees chapter 4 verse 15. Read that.
2 Maccabees chapter 4 verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers.
Read.
But liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
And that has always been our problem. We don't want to deal with the customs and traditions that God gave us, his high holy days, which were glorious. You understand? You could dress beautifully in modesty, right? But no, we want the glory of the Grecians. We want to look like the white man. We want to hold a debutante ball. You understand? God said that is a sickness that's called Stockholm Syndrome. And what did that result in? Pull up their first round of images. This is what happens when we don't want to do the honors of our fathers, but the glory of the white man. Put that on the screen. Look at this, y'all. Somebody come look at this. You can't make this up. That's why the white man said it took them till 2013. You understand? We don't want niggas there, because that's how they going to be coming. All right? For real. From there, give me the clip, the news clip, when the newscaster said, "Keep it real, little sister." All right, put that on the screen. Watch this.
And a photo of it because she wanted to convey a message. She customized her prom dress, and not sure if you can make it out there, but the photo on the front right there, that's an image of Trayvon Martin's face, and she also included other people in the Black Lives Matter movement, including Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. Their photos are all over her prom dress. This is 17-year-old Milan Bolden Morris, who she says, "Yes, I'm black. Yes, I'm 17, and yes, God is using me to convey a message that is bigger than me." So that's her dress. Interesting.
I'll tell you, if she's conveying a message for her daddy, you better watch and just make sure she comes home. Because I'm just saying, sister does not look 17. That's the message she's really conveying. Keep it real. All right, let's go back to the next story.
I'm not going to touch it. But you're right.
I can say it, sister. I can say it, little sister. Englishman.
So the newscaster seeing straight through the BS of the young black sister who was probably cheered on by her mother. You understand? Talking about God is using her. Cut it out. You are conveying a message that you are ready to get smashed, and your father should be very, very concerned. Stop the damn cap. All right? Now watch this. Psychologytoday.com. Give me the prom and sex section. Now, warning, these are low ball numbers. I don't know what area of the world they surveyed these 12,000 students, but these are low ball numbers, but the principle still remains. You understand? This is what goes down on prom night. Read that.
Prom and sex. In a study surveying 12,843 high school students, 14% of girls reported having sex on prom night, and 5% of those girls and 3% of boys lost their virginity on prom night.
And there's common knowledge in high school. If you make it all the way to prom night as a virgin, that's the night you lose it. Everybody knows that. It's a ceremonial popping of the cherry. You understand? That's how it go. Go ahead.
Nearly 53% of those surveyed also reported consuming alcohol on prom night. When alcohol is present, there is a greater risk for sexual assault. And the majority of people who are victims of sexual assault know their perpetrator.
So any wise parent will want to keep their children far away from such a thing.
That's right.
But you know how the world is. Now give me the news clip. This is how the heathens dress it up and promote it to make it seem like basically this is how the parents should approach prom night. Watch this. Play that. Come on.
With an expectation of intimacy because relationships are budding, it's springtime, they're growing up into their bodies. Again, setting them up for success. So knowing that there's going to be high interest there, right? And if your expectation is abstinence only, help them with that decision. Let them know that that's your expectation and teach them how to advocate for themselves. And otherwise, teach them physical and emotional safety.
Yeah, lots of.
In other words, if you send your son or daughter to prom and you plan on them maintaining their innocence, you're going to have to teach them how to basically fight. Because that person that they going on a date with in their mind is going down. That's why you got the drugs, the liquor, the hotel room. You understand? So we read in the article before the clip that what happens, sexual assault is coming on prom night. You understand? So if you going, I spend all this money, we get this hotel room, and you think about staying a virgin, I might try to strong arm you. For real, what type of father in his right mind would put her daughter in that type of predicament? They talking about coach them to be sexually safe. How about don't let them go? The hell is this? Give me Sirach chapter 42, verse 9.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42 and verse 9.
The
father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth.
The father, a righteous father, is paranoid concerning the activities of his daughter. Go ahead.
And the care for her taketh away sleep.
Right, he can't sleep, especially if his daughter is not safe and secure under his same roof. You understand? Go ahead.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age. And being married, lest she should be hated. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
Do y'all see that? The father is deeply concerned and paranoid in his daughter's virginity because he does not want her to be defiled, especially by a little young boy that work at Sonic. That's what most of these little girls is using their virginity to on prom night. Damn. You understand? These little girls get defiled and then what?
And gotten with child in her father's house.
And nobody wants to talk about that. You understand? A lot of those fall pregnancies come from those prom night activities. You understand?
Message.
And those little girls, yeah, they're 18 or blah, blah, blah. They're not out the house. They're not mature. They're not really adult shit. They're still living under your roof. But because you let them go to prom and partake in the after prom festivities, you understand? You got yourself a grandbaby. You understand? And you're probably going to have to raise it, especially in the younger years, because that child is still a child that's pregnant with a child. A righteous father going to do everything in his power to prevent that happening with his daughter. Now watch this. Go to Romans chapter 13, verse 13. All right? Come on.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
Right, an example of right. We just read it in the article. What happens on prom night? How do all these minors get access to an abundance of alcohol? Ain't no 21-year-olds at the no damn high school prom. The hell is this? But it's coming. You understand? It's a part of the custom. There has to be drink. There has to be the turn up. God says, no, we don't walk like that. We don't move like that in this truth. Ain't no turn up with drunkenness. You understand? If you're going to turn up, it better be like David celebrating, praising the Lord. Not no damn prom night. Watch this. Go ahead.
Not in chambering and wantonness. Not in strife and envy.
So now, wantonness, that means an intense lust, but that chambering word. Watch this. Pull it up. Read what you got.
Chambering. Illicit intercourse.
Illicit intercourse. Sex with minors, young boys and young girls under marital age that's not married is illicit intercourse. Guess what? That is a ceremonial damn element of prom night. God says not to do that, not to partake in that. Watch this. Read on.
The rendering in English versions of the Bible since Tydale of coitus, literally beds.
Literally what?
Beds.
Beds. That's what chambering means. You understand? So that hotel room after the prom dance is chambering. It goes down in the bed. That's why the drinks and the drugs and all of that is a part of the post-prom festivities, because it's leading to that experience, that grand finale in the bed. God says not to do that, not to partake in that. You understand? That is wickedness. Go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 3.
And I need you parents to listen up, because a lot of us deal with the, I want my child to experience what I experienced, and I don't want to deprive them of the things that I was able to. Shut the hell up. You understand? Guess what? They have the greatest gift that you weren't able to have when you was a child or a teenager, and that's the understanding of God's commandments. You understand? Don't deprive them of that by giving them over to their lust and partaking in these heathen customs like prom. Watch this. Read what you got.
For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
We had enough of that, so we don't continue to cycle with our children. Read on.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
When we walked in lasciviousness, guess what? The parents, a lot of us, we did that for them. They don't do that. They are now safe and preserved from that because you're righteously guiding them under the parental guidance given in God's laws. You understand? So they don't deal with that lasciviousness on that level. Read on.
Lust.
Read.
Excess of wine.
Guess what? We had our house party days, and you understand? Guess that's not for our children. Those days are behind us. Our children now walk in the light. Go ahead.
Revelings.
Read. Banquetings. That's prom. Prom is a banqueting of the world. Not a Passover, not a Feast of Pentecost. You understand? But a worldly heathen banqueting. God says no. That's the will of the Gentiles. That's what the white man wants you to do, to perpetuate these statistics in our community of teenage pregnancy. You understand? Read on.
And abominable idolatries.
Guess what? Prom is in the boat of abominable idolatries. Don't believe me? Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Abominable! You understand? Go to the next one. Abominable! Look how low we have fallen. You can't make this up. Look at this. Abominable! And that's why it's an idolatry, because guess what? Guess who's worshipped on that night? The prom king and the prom queen. You understand? People, they spend their whole damn high school years aspiring to that crowning ceremony. You understand? Because you get worshiped, you get idolized. God says, no, we're to abstain from these abominable idolatries. How in the hell the prom king and the prom queen is the same person?
Come on now, dog.
That thing got crowned prom king, and it was little girls telling him slay queen. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Now read verse 4.
Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot.
And guess what? You young brothers and sisters, I know peer pressure is very detrimental to our lives as we try to endure in this truth, right? But listen, God is letting you know that's what comes with it. People are going to look at you funny that you the only person in your class that's not participating in this worldwide custom. You understand? Don't let that get to you. All right? Go ahead.
Speaking evil of
They going to try to make fun of you. They going to, what type of court your parents won't let you come to a dance? And they going to try to get in your head. They going to speak evil of you and your beliefs. But guess what? That's what it means to be faithful. Despite whatever the unbelievers say, the heathens and all of that, listen, stand on your biblical principles, and God will reward you for that. All right? So I pray you brothers and sisters was edified, the truth about prom. All right? Shalom, Most High, Christ bless.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word. Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.